Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. Welcome to your practice. Today we're going to use 2 blocks and we're going to start on our backs using a block in a supported bridge pose. And I would just recommend using your block on your lowest setting so you have enough space to really set your sacrum down. So just lay down, lift your hips up, and get that block comfortably underneath your pelvis. And maybe you can even walk your feet a little further apart than your traditional stance. And just close your eyes, let your arms relax. Let your shoulders release to the floor. And take a nice big breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Just let yourself arrive here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, sigh it out. And one more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And then take a couple breaths in and out of your nose. And just allow yourself to shift gears, sink in, settle. Take your time to shift into your practice mode. And just feel, observe your feet. The back of your pelvis resting heavy can allow your hips to sort of tilt back a little bit. And on your next breath in, just reach your arms up and overhead and stretch through the sides of your body from your hips through to your fingertips. Maybe swish your hips a little side to side as you reach. And as you exhale, just gently hug your right knee into your chest. And you are welcome to keep your left leg as it is or stretch your left leg long on the mat. And I like to float my left leg initially so I can really compress on the right and lengthen, powerfully pressing through my heel forward. And then if you want to bring your heel down to the mat, that's part of your practice, but allow your hips to tip back and allow the knee to soften a little bit. So you can really soften the front of that left hip, keeping a little engagement through the thigh, the inner thigh hugging down. Maybe roll your right ankle around a little bit, spread out your toes, point and flex. Take another breath there. Soften your jaw, just be in it. Really be present here in the sensation. And gently just walk your left foot back if you extended. Bring your right foot down to meet your left. Bring your arms by your ribs and walk your shoulders underneath you. So you have like little robot arms. So imagine you're kind of holding a block here. And then notice if your low back really lifted. So tilt your tailbone, tilt your pelvis up. So sort of like you're flattening the front of your hips a little bit. Squeeze your glutes. Take a big inhale, prepare. And exhale, lift your hips. Try not to lay in your low back. Press down and give your heels a little tug back towards your sit bones as you lift your hips a little higher. Push down with your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together, inhale. And exhale, slowly lower back to your block. And release your shoulders, hug your left knee in, kick your right leg out. And again, if you want, you can keep it floating, but I'm just gonna stretch it out for a breath or two, find some space in the front of that hip. Actively press through my right foot, and bring my right heel either closer or all the way down, but I'm softening my right knee a little bit. Bringing some compression into the left side as I really hug in, but also down, squeezing the right outer hip. Feel for a slight internal rotation of that inner right thigh, active feet, maybe roll that left ankle around, spread the toes, point and flex. Make sure you're still breathing. Take another moment, take your time, no rush, really feel what's going on. You don't have to be perfectly still in any of these poses. You can always find a little bit of movement, always making the pose work for you. You're not trying to jam your body into the shape. Take one more breath. Start to walk that right foot in. Plant the right foot down. Left foot meets it. Same setup with the arms, so little robot arms. Press down with your feet. Walk your shoulder blades one at a time, a little bit underneath you, and really press into your elbows. Take a big inhale, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, press and lift. And imagine you're trying to pull the shins back and underneath you, engaging through the backs of your legs, engaging through the glutes. Maybe try spreading your toes. Breathe. Just pause, reaching your hips up, but kind of scooping your hips underneath you, feeling a little more space in the front of your body. One more breath in. And exhale. Come on down. From here, again, just release your shoulders out from underneath you. Float your knees up, maybe right over your hips. Maybe extend the knees. And if you want, you can stay right here. Allow your hips to sort of tilt back in space. And just imagine you're almost like doing a little forward fold. So I'm trying to pull my toes towards my face. You can go as far as you like. You can reach for your legs. You can reach for your feet. For 3, wherever you are. Breathe for 2. And 1. If your hips are off the block, slowly bring them back to the block. And bend your knees. Just let your feet dangle for a moment. Place one foot down to your mat at a time. And again, set up your arms. One more bridge pose. Whatever arms you decide, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Squeeze your shoulder blades in a little bit. Engage your glutes. Take a big inhale to prepare. Exhale, press and lift. And then just while you're up there, take that block out from underneath you and set it aside. And then snuggle, walk your shoulders in and down. Press down with your arms for 3. Tug those heels back towards you for 2. And 1. Come all the way down. Hug your knees, give them a little squeeze here, maybe circle around, and just start to sort of move your thigh bones around in your hips, go in any direction. Take a couple of moments, broaden, widen through the low back, and just press down through your sacrum. And take one more full round of breath, whatever you're doing. And then come right back through center, squeeze your knees, and rock and roll either once or multiple times to come all the way up. And have your blocks maybe at the top of your mat as you transition, just in case. And we're just gonna bring the hands down, come into your hands and knees, spread your fingers wide, and just start to move your body around in any direction. So any way you want, maybe curl, maybe point the toes, maybe close your eyes. Spread your fingers and imagine you're grabbing a rounded surface with your hands so you feel the perimeter of your palms, the knuckles of your palms connect and really push into the fingertips here. Take a couple more rotations or movements through. Just find some freedom. Really just some time to check in with yourself. Where are you in your body? Can you be present? Good. And then let's meet on hands and knees. Curl the toes under for a moment and push the floor away. So we're going to hug the low ribs in and find a nice stable position here with our arms and upper back. So we want to maintain the position of the pelvis and the position of the low back. Those two things are not going to change. We're going to do some controlled articular rotation or cars. So we're going to lift that right knee. Externally rotate, squeeze the outer left hip in, and then we're going to internally rotate to bring it back through center, lift it up, nothing else changes, and then bring it back through center. Out, squeeze the outer left hip in, squeeze, pull it in, lift it up, and then bring it back in. So you're essentially making circles in that right hip, but you're really trying to articulate the movements mindfully, slowly, engaging the core. And as you notice, I'm not swaying, I'm not moving my pelvis, like there's no cat-cows happening. So just take one more, and we'll meet back through center. We're going to reverse it. So push the floor away. You're going to reach that heel up, squeeze in. Don't forget about your left hip, and then externally rotate and bring it forward and back through center. And then up, out, through, center. Up, out, through center. One more. Up, out, forward, center. Pause, reach it up, out, pause, kick it out. And then stand on your right foot. Now, for this situation, I'm going to tent my fingertips and bring my left knee a little wider than my left hip. I'm going to walk my fingertips slightly forward and think extension in the spine. So I'm just going to find some movement forward and back, standing firmly on my right foot. And just rocking, checking in, inner right thigh. Trying not to round in the spine, so keep scooping the hips back, pulling the heart forward for 3, for 2, and 1. Just take a moment here. You're going to plant that left hand down slightly ahead of your left shoulder, and inhale, reach your right arm up. Just rotate open, twist. Push the floor away, slide that left shoulder blade back a little bit. And exhale, I'm going to thread my right arm underneath. Now, you may need to move your left hand a little over, that's fine, drop into it. And squeeze that outer left hip in, push through your right foot. Take a moment here. Use your left hand as a little kickstand. Press the back of your right hand down. Push the floor away to rise back up. Plant your hands. Bring that left knee back under your left hip and bring your right to meet it. Inhale, cow pose. Just neutralize. Exhale, round in your cat. And let's meet back in center. So we're going to set up for the left side. So just take a moment, spread your fingers wide, push the floor away, draw your low ribs in, maintain the position of your pelvis. I like to curl my toes under for this. We're going to lift the left, externally rotate, squeeze the outer right hip in, internally rotate that inner thigh, pushes up, and then back to center and out, in, up, and center. And breathe. Find a breath that works for you. Keep squeezing your outer right hip. Keep pushing equally through your hands. Try not to collapse in your chest. Try not to fold through the elbows. One more in this direction. Out, in, up, forward, pause, and then press your heel back up, out, and wrap it forward, back through center. Out, keep breathing, don't forget to breathe. Center, and out, forward,
Let's do one more. Kick it up, out, forward, center, pause. Kick it back up, and turn towards you. Kick it up, externally rotate, and then kick it out. So seal that left foot down. Now I'm gonna take my right knee, walk it out a little wider of my right hip, tent my fingertips, walk them slightly forward, or you can use blocks. And just rock a little forward and back. Keep standing firmly in that left foot. Pull the chest forward, think Shalabhasana or cow pose, spinal extension. Make sure you can breathe. You can push the hips back as far as feels good for you, just finding that inner left thigh. Taking your time. Good, let's take one more breath, whatever you're doing, moving or still. Pull yourself forward, right hand plants down slightly ahead of your right shoulder. Left arm is gonna sweep up. Find that spinal rotation, just opening through the left ribs, push through the right hand, and then thread it through. So I'm gonna bring my left hand, maybe instead of right towards 3 o'clock a little bit, maybe up towards 1, and then I'm gonna tent my right fingertips and drop down. Press the back of your left hand down, press into that left foot, rotate open through the right side of the chest, using your right hand as a kickstand, and breathe. You might feel that underneath that left shoulder blade, wrapping around the rib cage. One more breath here. And gently, very carefully, press back up. Hands back down. I'm gonna push into my hands to bring my right knee back underneath, and then my left knee to meet it. Hands and knees. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, heart lifts. Pull the heart through. And exhale, round in your cat, push the floor away. From here, walk your hands slightly ahead. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back. We'll meet in down dog. And we're just gonna walk out our dog a little bit. So just reach your hands forward, press the mat away. Find some space here. Spread your fingers wide, keep grabbing the mat. Bend your knees a little bit, scooping the hips up and back. Spread across the balls of your feet and really reach through your arms and shoulders. Breathe, hug those outer arms. Just feel that wrapping around the ribs, around the chest. Good. Keep the knees slightly bent, and we're gonna lift that right leg up. So I'm gonna keep my left knee bent, reach equally through my arms, kick through my right heel, inhale. And then wide step outside of my right hand, maybe tent the right fingertips and land. Now you can use blocks underneath your hands, or you can use fingertips, but we're gonna rise up. We're not gonna sink down. So I'm hugging my right hip in, squeezing the midline. Back leg super strong. Squeeze your left glutes as well. Pull your chest through. Find some elevation. Maybe by lifting the chin, you can elevate your chest a little bit. Broaden through the collarbones. Full body breath. As you exhale, left knee comes down and find your half split. So I'm not even gonna move my hands to frame my right foot. I'm just gonna keep my hands inside. So it's a little bit different. Soften your right knee, dig that right heel down, give it a little tug back as you scoop the hips back behind you. Again, think cow pose. And just release your chin, pull your right toes back, take another breath. Let's re-lunge, bend that right knee. Left hand down, right arm up for the twist. Press down into that right foot, squeeze that right shoulder blade. Open up, you're rotating from the rib cage. Keep the left glutes fired up. And then notice if that left shoulder is wrapping forward, just give it a little hug back. You can broaden across the collarbones. Take one more breath in. Exhale, right hand down, still inside of my right foot. Lift your back knee, come into a very wide pyramid pose. So my back heel is lifted. I'm gonna soften one or both of my knees, maintaining that extension through the spine. Just really feel for standing firmly through the balls of your feet. Inhale, look forward. Bend that right knee, turn your right toes slightly out. We're gonna take a giant step forward into an active squat. So I'm gonna turn my left toes out, drop my hips, and just bring my hands to my thighs here. You can walk your feet out as wide as you want. You don't have to be on your mat. And then imagine, let's take our hands actually outside of our knees. Push in with your hands, push out with your knees, squeeze your glutes, press down with your heels, and drive them apart as you pull your chest through. And then reach your arms forward, keeping all of that for 3, for 2, and 1. Stand on up, squeezing your glutes, pressing your hips forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, active squat. Stay, inhale. Exhale, we're gonna place the hands down. Step that left foot back, turn your right toes to, all 10 toes actually, to the right. Push the floor away, option to reach the right arm overhead. Back leg super strong. Push as you press down into both feet, right and left. Inhale. And exhale, right hand down, pivot forward, step back, down dog. Deep breath in. Exhale. Left leg lifts, keep the right knee bent, kick through the left heel. Keep pressing equally through both arms. Giant step outside of the left foot, left hand. Maybe using blocks again. So my hands are inside of my left foot. And I'm just gonna pause here and hug through the midline. Keep pulling the chest forward. Hug the right glutes in. Press the right thigh up. Get heavy in the left hip. Stand firmly in your feet. Chest forward. Try not to round. Imagine if you weren't using your hands here to help you. We're not gonna let go of our hands or release our hands, but just imagine how strong your legs would have to be. Soften your jaw. Settle, take another breath. And exhale. Right knee comes down. Set up for your half split. Keep the hands inside of your left foot, maybe bringing your blocks or your hands back towards you. Now from here, you don't want to hyperextend in that knee, so you're gonna maybe soften your left knee a little bit so we don't lock it out. Take the left toes back towards your shin. Scoop your hips back behind you. Hug that right hip forward. Drag the left heel isometrically back. Find your breath. One more here. And from here, let's re-lunge. Bend that left knee. Right hand down. Stand firmly in your left foot and rotate the chest. Open. Push down into that left foot. If your left knee wants to fall out, that's actually fine. Just let your toes and shin go with it. But maintain that you're pushing into that left foot. And then notice if that right shoulder wants to wrap forward, just gently hug it back. As you rotate, imagine you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together on your back without straining your neck. Take another breath. And exhale. Come back through. Hands down inside of that left foot, right toes curl under, inhale. Exhale, up and back, wide pyramid pose. Now again, I like to find a little movement and a little softness in one or both of my knees to maintain that length in my spine without strain, without pulling or gripping. Turn your left toes slightly out to the left, look forward, bend your left knee. We're gonna step back forward into that active squat, giant step forward with the right, toes out, heels in, right away. Arms reach forward, chest is tall, press down and push out with your heels for 3. Keep opening the knees, 2. And 1, stand up, hands to your heart, squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, active squat. Hands down, turn your left toes forward, step your right foot back, right hand down, spin all 10 toes to the left. And just pause here, pressing into both pinky toe edges of both of your feet, top arm overhead, find space, power up that right leg and scoop that right hip underneath you as you push the floor away. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Sorry, left hand down. Spin forward. Step back, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, ripple forward to plank pose. And knees up or down, you're gonna lower all the way to the floor. We're gonna set up with a little wider stance. So widen your legs. Tent your fingertips off to the sides. Press, anchor your feet, anchor your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, stabilize here. And then nice wide cobra. So I'm really keeping my butt engaged. To help stabilize the pelvis, keep drawing your navel in, stabilize the low back. And then slowly lower. Inhale, roll it up like a wave. Exhale, slowly lower. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And lower all the way down. And place your hands underneath your shoulders, press up hands and knees, tuck the toes, inhale. And down dog as you exhale, press it up and back. Inhale here. Exhale it out, reach through the arms. Inhale, right leg lifts, bending the left knee. This time, exhale, step the right foot through between your hands, however you like to get it there. We're gonna come into a double bent knee lunge. So back knee is gonna bend, and we're gonna rise on up. So from this lunge, we're allowing the pelvis to come to neutral. So scooping the hips underneath you. Hands can be at your heart. Just find that stability. Stabilize, breathe. Strongly rooting down through that right foot. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, we're gonna lean forward, 45-degree lunge. As I lean forward, hinging from the hips, my back leg comes towards straight. My right knee stays bent. You can press into your right thigh with your hands, or you can keep your hands at your heart. We're gonna drag that left foot up, kick through the heel, right knee hasn't changed. Pull the heart forward. Reach for 3, keep the right knee bent, kick through the left heel, 2. And 1, start to straighten the right knee. And then bend the right knee. Step all the way back with the left foot and inhale, crescent lunge, rise up. Scoop the hips under. Lift your heart, inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Sweep your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, look forward. Bending your left knee, bend your elbows a little bit and pull yourself forward and through to an upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps through mindfully. Pause to set it up. Bend your right knee and rise up. Any arms here. Double bent knee lunge. Scooping the hips underneath you, finding that neutral pelvis. Finding your breath. Shoulders right over the hips. Soften your jaw. Be here for another moment. Stabilize. And then start to lean forward. As you lean forward, hinging from the hips, straighten that back knee. Imagine you're holding a block between your inner thighs. You can use your hands and your arms in any way that helps you. Just start to transfer the weight forward, drag that right foot up and kick through the right heel. Keep the left knee bent and then pull your chest through. Bent knee, warrior three. Take a breath. And then straighten that left knee. Ooh, push the floor away. Rebend, get as low as you can, and step all the way back. Bing, and rise up. Crescent lunge. Let it unfurl. Don't rush it. Take a nice deep breath. And then exhale. Release. Hands down. Pause. Step that left foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Look forward. Bend your elbows. Pull yourself forward and through into an upward facing. And then we'll exhale. Downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths there in your down dog. And just feel. Be where you are. Notice. From here, let's inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Feet to the top of your mat. Really soften your knees here as you fold. Allow your ribs and your thighs to come close, maybe meet. Soften your neck. Imagine the crown of your head reaching the floor. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Keep your knees bent so you can scoop your hips back. Exhale, fold in half, release. Soften your knees and inhale, just round your spine, roll your way all the way up. And circle your arms, push the floor away as you inhale, open through the front body. And exhale, release your hands. Just close your eyes here for a moment. And feel where you are in your body. From your toes on up. Give yourself a few moments. And then from here, inhale, circle your arms and reach. Exhale, forward fold and dive. Release your head and neck. Inhale, pull your chest forward, scoop your hips back. Exhale, hands down, walk one foot back at a time, plank pose. Inhale, lengthen. Pull your sternum through. Push the floor away. Strengthen your legs. Knees up or down, exhale, lower, all the way. From here, Shalabhasana. You can reach your arms back. You can reach your arms forward. Anchor down through the pubic bone, squeeze your glutes, and lift everything up as you're ready. I want you to explore how you want your hands. Draw your navel away from your mat. Keep your neck long, so try not to push your chin forward. So just drop your chin slightly down and lift everything else up for 3, 2, and 1. Place your hands underneath your forehead and rest. Just rock your hips a little side to side. Take a couple deep breaths. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up hands and knees. Pause here, and we're gonna just walk your hands back towards your knees. Lift your hips up and fold in half again. Just kind of wherever you land. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, walk your hands forward. All the way. Back into plank, pull your heart forward, inhale. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale halfway, grab a block, widen your feet here, turn your toes out, heels in. We're gonna take a malasana sitting on the block. So if you would like more than one block, go for it. Widen your feet, toes out, heels slightly in, lift your chest. So the idea is supported in the supported malasana is that we can really find length and space in our spine. So this can feel good to hunker down like that sometimes, but that's not what we're looking for right now. So take your time to find some length, press down into your feet, keep it active, and keep widening through your knees. You can press out with your arms and squeeze in with your legs. Notice. And then from here, we're just gonna lift that right arm up and send it back behind us. And we're gonna let it land and then reach the left arm on the diagonal and up and over, try and rotate your chest open and then sweep it back and push yourself forward. We're gonna do this a couple times. Left hand down, right arm up and over, open, and then sweep it back, push. Come back to center. Right, up and over with the left, rotate open as much as feels right. And then left, reach the right. Now we can add on here if you'd like. So from here, if you want, you can do the same exact thing that we were just doing, or we can reach the right hand back, left arm up and over and lift the hips, circle up, and then back down, hips come down, pull yourself forward and over to the other side. Left hand down, right arm up and over, lift, and then back where you came from. So I want you to figure out how many times you want to do this. You can do this just once, or you could do it 10 times, whatever feels good. And just take your time as you come through. You can lift your heels. You can come, if you're there, you can come all the way into your urdhva if you can walk your way all the way back. And whenever you're ready, we're actually just gonna meet back in that malasana, supported. Take your time though, no rush. You can always pause and do a bunch more if you like. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And then lean forward so you can remove the block. And come on down to your butt and lay right onto your back. Keep your knees bent, feet on your mat. Take a moment, set up for another bridge pose as you're here. So again, mindfully set it up. Whatever arms feel good for you, walk your shoulders together and underneath you. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, lift, squeeze the glutes. Actively press down and tug back with your feet. Soften your jaw. Don't think about this as much of a back bend as a front lengthener and opener. Really squeeze the back body. So, use the back of your body
actively to open the front. Take one more breath, just be in it. And exhale, slowly, gently. Release. Pause, inhale. And exhale. Take another bridge. You can also take a supported bridge. If you'd like, you can take Urdhva Dhanurasana. Just take one more back bend. Wherever you are, set yourself up. Prepare with a big breath in. And exhale, start to lift and come into your back bend. And just, if you like movement, you can move. You know where you are in your body. I can't see you, sadly, so I can't know. So I trust that you can. For 3, 2, chin to chest if you're in Urdhva, slow as you can, come all the way down. Everyone meet on your back. Walk your feet out a little wider than your hips. Let your knees fall together. And just place your hands somewhere comfortable for you. Feel your heart beat. Take a couple of moments to sort of stretch the breath back out. Let's find a few gentle windshield wipers. Just rock a little side to side. With ease. Let's keep it nice and simple. Nothing complicated here. Close your eyes and just feel and just be. And we'll meet back. Let's walk the feet back in through center. Hug the right knee in, just like we did earlier. Stretch the left leg long on your mat. Take a breath, inhale. Use your left hand to pull that right knee across to the left for a twist. You can reach that right arm far away if you like. Just sort of lengthen through that right side waist. Maybe try to send the front of the right hip down towards the front of your mat. Just trying to feel into your pelvis. Maybe find a little lift of the chin and chest. Find more length through the spine. Maybe give that right shoulder blade a little squeeze onto your back so it can ground a little bit more. Take another breath. Come on back to center. Bring your left knee in to meet the right. Pause. And then hug the left and extend the right. Take a breath, just pull it in. Feel for creating some space. Using your right hand, you can pull that left knee across the midline. And you can reach your left arm out away from you. Neck is comfortable, jaw is soft. And same thing here. Maybe swish your pelvis a little bit in space to kind of feel for creating a little more space through the sides of your body. Create a little more length in the spine. Maybe squeeze that left shoulder blade as you push the right elbow down, rotate the left ribs a little more to the left. And slowly unwind, coming back to center. Right knee comes in to meet the left, and just pause here for a moment. Place your feet down and either allow the feet to come together, the knees to open apart, or alternatively, the opposite, feet wide, knees together. Close your eyes Relax your shoulders. Take a big breath in through the nose for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Soften as you hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, release. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, hold at the top, relax your face. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, everything let it go. Take a couple of normal breaths just to regulate. And from here, choose a shape for your Shavasana, whether that's legs up the wall, legs up the couch, laying flat, knees bent, whatever shape allows you to completely relax, with or without props. Take the time to set it up. You deserve it. Take your Shavasana, don't skip it. And once you find your shape, you're just going to close your eyes, release everything down. Your body is no longer a distraction, there's no effort, there's no force, no strain. Just let your breath and let your body be. My hope for you is that you have the time and the space to stay in your Shavasana for another 5 or so minutes, as long as you can afford. And this is where I'll leave you. It's been an honor and a joy to guide you. Thank you for practicing with me. Until next time, namaste.